Happy New
Good
Year's,
morning,
fellas.
guys. Happy
Good
New
morning.
Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year's.
New Year's,
Happy New
boys.
Year.
There's the energy. There's the energy.
Only took us 30 minutes, half of an espresso. I'm ready to go.
Only half? Mine's been cooked, crushed, done. I'm ready to hit the
I haven't
shitter.
even had coffee yet, man.
Me neither. Only
Wow,
water
you
and
guys are-
greens for me.
Yeah. Same.
Not yet. I was thinking about, well, first off, I've been up super early because if you have a French Bulldog, they snore super loud. Like, it literally sounds like a lawnmower in your fucking bedroom. And if you don't fall asleep before him, you will literally not be able to fall asleep. But it's weird because when I put him down here, like right now he's chilling and he's not snoring. You know, it's like the way that they sleep. But I've been up super early. But I've been reflecting a lot on what's been going on this year, planning for next year, and thinking about all of the different things that come into play with goal setting. And I know a lot of us are really on top of goal setting, and we do it in different ways. I look at it on a quarterly and monthly basis, and every single month over the next year, I outline what we're going to be doing and different goals from month to month for the business and really personally and professionally. You know, it's a really big thing that helps me lead into at least quarter one. Things become adjusted. Things pop up and whatnot, but for the first period of time, for the first quarter, you know, it's something that we lean on pretty heavily. Do you guys do something like that too?
Yeah, we lost Ryan. He's gonna miss that question completely. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great messing with him. We should just shift completely and start talking about like something obscure. You guys ever been to Zen Garden before? Blah blah blah.
Asking a completely random question.
Yeah. So Ryan, are you prepared to have kids soon, or
Pat's backwards, ready to go.
all right? Well, Kenny's
In a different
question.
room now. What are you moving around?
Oh my god, this is
You
great.
should take like a little figure and place it somewhere else every time he comes back in.
Yeah, right. And he's back.
What is your internet test out at?
220 and 18, except I deleted 220 and 18.
220 is not bad.
Yeah, 220 is good.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's every time we record too. Once the recording starts, it starts getting fucked up.
Maybe it's just your computer just crashes. Just too
It's
much
your
laptop
computer, man. Come
graphics.
on.
Is your laptop plugged in?
Yeah.
Too much on your
I'll
graphics
go buy something to get it going for 2024. 2023 shortcomings. We learn from our mistakes. 2024. Everything's fine.
There
right,
you go.
bud? Everything's fine. It's okay. We'll get through this.
Good. There he is.
Write it down for us. Put a timeline of when you need to get something to fix it. And there's your first goal for 2024.
Just expense it.
Yeah.
Approved. It's in the budget.
Tell our CFO he needs to approve it.
Yeah. All right. Well, back to what Kenny was saying. He was sharing how he does his goals and everything, and he was asking how we did it. But yeah, I was just gonna jump in and say, kind of like I don't really do the whole like deep dive. I guess I'll go down memory lane and just kind of like remember things that happened. Try to remember, especially the earlier parts of the year, because that's usually so far away from December that I don't really remember. What did I do this year? What happened? All that kind of stuff. Definitely there's some reflection on like some things that went good or bad, or, if I would have done something differently, like that kind of minor thing. But I don't really do major goal setting, primarily because of how work is. And I'm more getting prepared for my end of year reporting, which starts in quarter one. So it's a little bit different, just timeline that I'm up against. So I usually start planning about March time for the rest of the year.
Love that.
At least he got to listen to me. That's his favorite pastime, is listening to me. So, Johnny, what about you?
Ryan, we've all decided we're flying to Bora Bora in a month.
Let's go. They kicked me out last time. They wouldn't let me go there. I'm down.
Did you just say approved?
Approved.
Oh yeah,
Wait, see first class tickets too? I bet.
approved.
Dang.
Dude, first
You
class
guys
was
ever
nice.
see? Yeah, first class is nice. You ever see Night at the Roxbury when he just wants to talk to that credit card lady on the other phone, so he just like runs the card all the time, and then or the card is always like getting hit, and he has to like call her to get it approved. Like probably back in the day when credit cards like were just starting off to be a thing, he would actually call someone, and then he would call her and he'd talk to her, and he'd be like, she said approved. You guys remember that?
Hey, the Roxbury.
No.
Classic. I love that.
Great
Night at the
movie.
Roxbury.
It's good though. It's good.
Breaks the window
Yeah.
doing the darn.
Yeah, he's like,
You know what?
That
It's
movie's
fun.
hilarious.
I made fun of James at the delay. Probably a little bit too much last time. So as fate would have it, it's my turn to be the one made fun of.
One.
Right. There we go.
Yeah.
Now Ryan has a delay.
No.
No, I'm
Stop.
kidding. I'm messing with
Thank
you.
goodness. One problem's enough. So what is the question? What are we talking about? What was the question that Kenny teed up for all of
It's
us?
your turn to come up with a topic before you.
My
bounce
turn to
me.
come up with a topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Woof. 2023, New Year's. I'm not good off the cuff. Let's talk about your favorite moment. What was your favorite moment of the past year?
Mm.
And because
I mean,
I asked the question,
I love
I'm teeing
getting
it up
together.
to y'all.
I love getting together with the guys, the bachelor parties. We had a handful of them this year. The bachelor parties are always a good time to get together with you guys, and we always go different places. We're always experiencing different things, and it's all of us for a weekend together. It's always an awesome time, no matter where we are. Mexico
International
was
this
cool. Mexico was
year,
cool.
for the first time we've done a bachelor party international, and I believe our boy James Lagama had a line about Mexico. Come on, James. Your feelings about Mexico?
I love Mexico, and Mexico loves me.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, James.
I was the tequila cuda out there.
Yep.
You look shocked with that comment.
I do a little bit.
I have it. It's a joke between me and Austin. I have a shirt. It says Barracuda on it, so it's like a Barracuda, but with you drink a lot of beer. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the concept transition because I was drinking so much tequila in Mexico that Austin was like, "You're the tequila cuda," and then now he's got renderings of my face on a Barracuda holding a tequila bottle. And he's been just sending me constantly. He put my face on top of a Patron bottle. He just keeps going in on this tequila comment. It's great. And see you later, Ryan.
Well, I was like, that's cool. I'm out.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's just one of my. Well, that's one of
New
my
Year's
favorite
resolution
things.
for everyone. I'm cutting you off, Kenny, because we're staying with Mexico.
Oh.
Everyone who watches this, follows this, you need to go to Mexico next year. Put on your list. You need to go to Coco Bongos. I mean, what a place! Great show.
But really, maybe too soon. But a big tip: don't go to Coco Bongo if you have an early flight the next morning. Not a good look.
Too soon. Yeah, don't do that.
Not a good look.
Don't do that.
Damn.
Don't
Get
do
VIP
that.
when you go. But yeah, get some recovery time the next day.
Yeah, dude.
Just dagger. Just a dagger in the heart.
John, are you upset by that? What happened?
Great
Oh,
time.
God.
I loved it. Mexico was great. A good time. My tummy hurts.
Oh, the bubble guts.
Oh God. Every
It
time.
was good that we didn't really have to go far for anything because the all inclusives are awesome. You have everything you need right there. You can explore if you want. We did explore, but you don't need to.
All right, so Kenny
Definitely
was the
more
bachelor
relaxing.
parties. Oh, more relaxing. Good.
Well, all right. Kenny was a bachelor parties. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was
Why
going
don't
to
you share
tee it up
yours?
to Johnny, but we weren't done talking about.
Ah, go ahead, share yours.
Relax.
No, I'm cutting you off now.
It's fine. That's fair. Continue. Actually, you know
You
what?
need
I'm
more
very
time
upset
to
that you're
think about
cutting
it.
me
Is
off.
that what it is? Is that why you're not? Okay, good. I don't know what's happening right
What's
now.
another topic we could talk?
Did he just rage quit?
Got over it.
I got a question.
Goodness, with your technical difficulties, we can't stay on topic here, Ryan.
What's your question, John?
Let's think about it. Okay, so Ryan, just in case you do get cut off,
Yes, I get to go first.
what was your favorite memory? I'm just tailing off what Kenny said before you get cut off. What was your favorite memory, or what did you enjoy this year in
Let's just clarify
2023?
first. I teed up that question.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
my bad. Sorry, my
That's
bad.
okay. It's
You
okay.
got
It's
cut
fine.
off 15
It's fine.
times. I couldn't remember.
I know. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. My favorite memory, oof.
And cut.
I mean, the bachelor, funny. Bachelor parties are good. I think it was a milestone year for a lot of us. It will be for Kenny in February, so it's basically one of the same. But all of us turned 30. You know, that was pretty cool. Pretty cool experience getting to celebrate that. We got to celebrate all of that, most of those together, and just entering a new decade and what that looks like. I mean, we all still feel like a bunch of young kids, hooligans. Feel like I'm about 24, act like I'm about 22. But that
You
is a
act like you're 5
milestone.
years old.
Whatever. Close enough. That it's just a milestone of life, man, to enter a new decade. So I think not only for myself being able to do that, but for all of our friends, and being there for those moments, being able to celebrate that, pretty awesome. So I think that's my big takeaway.
Some of us might have brought in our 30s a little too hard, but
Games that are running with a wall.
Unbelievable. And he's out.
He's out.
Did he know?
But if you think about it, though, Ryan makes a good point because we're talking about like New Year's resolutions and stuff here, and he talks about going into a new decade. That's actually a different way of looking at it. Like, what are you going to accomplish now in this new decade? We've only ever had 3 decades, right? So it's like you from I guess 0 to 10. You're just being a kid. You kind of start the goals of school though, and that really carries into I guess 10 to 20. 20 is kind of nearing closing of graduating from college, if you go to college or not, or starting work or anything like that. But now we're in the workforce. We've been in it for the last like 7-8 years. So it's kind of the first time we have a decade where we're going to be basically doing the same thing now for a couple of decades, if not more. So it's an interesting concept to think about. What are you going to do in the next decade? So you got my brain going, Ryan.
I think the big transition, for some of us hit that early. Hopefully all of us get to hit that in this next decade is what's our family life look like? We had two great friends of ours bring kids into this world. So
Their first kids.
Their first kids. Thank you. We had another one who brought in their second kid, and hopefully that's on the docket for us if we so choose in this next decade. Wow.
Did you just say dickhead?
I said decade. Technical issues. I
think you said dickhead.
Probably. In this next decade.
You could be a dickhead if you so choose.
So that's going to be a very, it's going to be an awesome journey and experience. So.
Yeah, definitely. I was reading this thing recently through one of the, I guess, scientific review through Harvard's Business Review, which outlines what is an expert. And many of us have probably heard about like the 10,000 hours thing. In order to be an expert in a specific field of some sort, you should have 10,000 hours. But they outline it takes approximately a decade of practicing something, right? A decade of practicing your trade to actually be considered an expert in something. So I think for all of us, we've been at our specific job or profession for, by the time we ended college, so, roughly 23, 24. So in this decade, we will all be achieving if you haven't put in your 10,000 hours already, because some of us work excessively. Most of us work excessively. We don't work a 9 to 5. We work all the time, all day, 7 days a week. So, yeah, we're probably rounding being an expert at what we do scientifically, numerically, Harvard Business Reviews, professional outlook wise. That would be what we're probably putting in our 10,000 hours right around now, which is interesting.
Yeah, well said.
I don't know about you, but 10,000 hours doesn't sound like a lot at all. I feel like, I mean, obviously it's a lot, but I
So,
think as we've come to realize $1 million is not a lot of money. The concept of numbers, right? Like what a large number actually is, if you really break it down. Like 1 million to 1 billion is a huge difference. So 10,000 compared to 1 million, huge difference.
yeah, but
So I don't know.
10,000 divided by 8 hours gives you 1,250 days. That's 8
Yeah,
hours a day.
that's
Even on an 8-hour workday, you're not working 8 hours. Like 100% proven. No one has that output on an 8-hour allocation of time. You're not working 8 hours. You're actually working somewhere in the region of like 3 to 5.
no, but it's attainable in 3 years, roughly.
It is, but again, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
We all work excessively, 7 days a week, most of us. So it's
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is you broke down 10,000 hours now into 3 years, right? Which you can conceptualize a little bit better.
Mhm.
So it as much as it may have sounded big, I'm saying like for some reason my outlook on numbers now, like when you start breaking things down like that, you're able to see that it's actually not as big as you think it is.
Yeah, agreed.
Just on the topic, we were talking about like putting in 10,000 hours and obviously just the work ethic and reaching something. I'm just curious for you all. When it comes to 2024, and it doesn't have to be very, granular specific, but at a high level, what is it that you're looking to improve on or you're trying to grow within 2024?
Yeah, good question. For 2023, for me, I, looking from a professional standpoint, I spent a lot of time building the team and building uh, the kind of like the inner circle of the community of the people that I work with and the people that work with us to be able to serve clients. So really 2024, I'm looking to just continue to expand on relationships more. I think it's a hard balance trying to expand on relationships and also build the internal team and build the interpersonal communications between each team member and the relationships between each team member. It's for me, it was kind of like one or the other, which I don't know if that's the right answer, but for me, it was one or the other because both of them takes an amazing amount of time and implementation. So this year, now that last year we focused on the team structure more, this year the depth of relationships that we have or that I have with professionally and personally. That's really what I'm looking to expand on.
Love that.
Nice.
That's very good.
Jinx. I was inspired by our fans of TBC, the ones out there, especially when they talked about our fourth grade reading level. So for me, I've never
Yeah.
been someone who has enjoyed reading, who's been interested in books since I was a kid, even to now. But that is something I am going to try in 2024 is just to read more in my free time. I've got a couple books lined up, some of them that you guys have read. One of them I've just started is called You Have to Be Believed to Be Heard, which is also a lot of self-improvement books. Kenny, I think you and Johnny have read Never Split the Difference. So that's my big goal and my challenge to myself in 2024 is just doing some more reading in my personal time when I could be, dicking around on my phone or watching TV, and maybe take an hour a night, even if it's 30 minutes, to try to get some self-improvement in that area.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Self-improvement books. I have a lineup for you if you want it. I'm sure Johnny does too. James does too.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I could piggyback off of that one, Ryan, and actually I think I should read more. I have read some self-improvement books, and I've got a list. Doesn't mean I've read all the books. So I might join you on that. We can maybe team up as accountability partners.
Okay, buddy. We'll live stream us reading.
Oh, no, we're not. The viewers already spoke.
You get to summarize the history at the end of each chapter. Actually, screw that. Every page.
What's the cliff notes?
You remember popcorn reading as a kid? Like you're in school and you have to read a segment and then you call?
Yeah.
We could just do that.
You're following along the book with your finger. I'm not going to lose the spot.
You either called on the girl that you liked or your buddy who you knew wasn't paying attention. Like just trying to mess with people, or just a random out there.
Yep.
So those were your typically, at least for me, the three targets of who was getting called on next.
Blast from the past on that one, Ryan. But coming back to the topic, I think my biggest thing that I want to focus in on is I want to work on my financial growth.
That's a good one.
We've been making some budgeting plays here in the last 2 years. Definitely have gone through trials and tribulations on trying to stick to the budget, primarily because of things that have come up specifically with the house. We had a leak in the house. We tried to remodel both bathrooms, but then the leak made that a much longer and probably more expensive process because we had to repipe our entire house. So a lot of money went in and out. Now, from the grand scheme of things, I did analyze our spending pattern from last year to this year, and actually wasn't too far off, primarily because we had our honeymoon last year, which was a big expense. But anyways, I want to stop focusing on expenses and see if I can focus more on growing income or cash, as well as just basically net wealth, essentially. So we're planning on making a play at buying a new house, which could potentially be us renting this house out. So then we would start getting that discretionary income building, starting to build a portfolio for real estate. So we'll see what that comes with, but that's kind of what my outlook is for 2024.
Love it.
That's awesome, man.
Very nice.
What about you, John?
Two things. I did want to just mention, and Kenny, what you said just about kind of your goal and vision for next year, or this upcoming year, but also for James and Ryan. I know you guys are all in a role where you lead people, right? And one thing I heard this year that hit home, and I don't really know if it was a quote or if it was someone specific, but it was someone that's a mentor in my eyes. And we all have almost time in the day where we can delegate and operate and get things accomplished. But then when it comes to leading people, you have to give time and effort, right? One thing that really stood out is people want your energy, not your time. So going out of your way and just doing these little things and little actions in a positive, energetic manner actually create greater strength, greater growth, and greater achievement than probably maybe spending X amount of time with a specific individual. And that's something for me in my role. I feel like, if I hear that, it's about the positive energy. It's about the energy you're spreading to others that could probably go a little bit further than maybe spending X amount of time. But that stood out to me. And I just wanted to share that real quick just because it stood out. But for me personally in 2024, one thing that, I really realized is, I've been in this like dimension space where, you have your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, right? And one thing I've learned is, how do you manage those? Because when one thing is off, it impacts and affects the other one, typically in a negative manner. Or when you're super high in one, it might impact the other. So for me, the two in the dimension, I'm really focused on just the emotional and mental well-being. And I think this all has to do with one way, shape, or form health. So that's something I'm really going to really harp on and really continue to analyze and and spend a lot of time on moving into 2024?
I had to. I really like that quote that or that line that you said. People want your energy, not necessarily your time. That's an interesting thing to think about, and I think that you're 100% spot on with that. But I really like that. I mean, that's gonna hit. It's gonna hit hard for quite some time this year because that's one thing I don't have a lot of usually is time. But it's like if I can put my energy and my impact in a 2 minute conversation, it doesn't need to be 20 minutes, and that's okay. Like it's completely okay. But one thing that I was going to say off of what you just said is I had to spend a lot of time this year, especially the beginning of this year, on the mental and spiritual element of things for me, just because, you know, losing someone close to you is a difficult thing to go through. And, I went through that towards the tail end of 2022, which led into 2023. One thing that really helped me is, and I don't have it with me right now, but I have basically a book. I'll send you the exact one that I use. I have a book. It's like a daily planner. And on this daily planner, if you guys don't use a daily planner, it's very helpful. There's a lot of things that pop up during the day. There's a lot of things that, just you have to plan for. And what I do is, daily planners I've used so many different types and they're all structured a little bit different between daily tasks, setting rituals, making sure that you hit on the things that you want to hit on to achieve your goals, scoring your day based off of your performance, Power Five, all of these different things. But the one that I do is I'll write down important tasks, and then you can rank those tasks. What is important? What is urgent? What is not urgent but necessary? What can I delegate? Things like that. And then being able to journal your goals in the morning or at the end of the day. I do that for the prior day. So I'll journal, just basically open that book. It's 2 pages for a specific day. And every single day has a specific 2 pages that you can write on, like tasks and notes and stuff. But that has helped me a lot. And I've tried to get away from it. I've tried to go digital with it. I've tried to use different printouts. I created one, which I'd be more than happy to share with everyone. I've created one myself, which I used for a very long time. I used it for probably 2 to 3 years, which worked really well. But having a written form of this is just, there's something to it that I cannot get away from. But I can be more than happy to share those links with you and all the resources I have with that, because that helped me a lot.
Love that. It's interesting, especially to that point of the digital age. Just the ability to cross and check something out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so fulfilling,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know why, but again, it's when you get very granular, and it's just the importance of prioritization, right? Of what's important, what's urgent, and then what could be delegated. That's actually something, especially as you lead people and you have others that are trying to groom or grow into certain roles, right? That's something that, from a delegation piece, I actually never thought about. That's a good idea too.
Well, It's an interesting thing because I don't know about you guys, but I'm someone that's I just want to, I'll do everything. I don't need help. I'll do it all. But it's not how it works. Especially when you look at the most successful companies, there wasn't one guy doing everything. It was a successful team of people that accomplished a goal, and they were all in synergy with driving further towards that goal. But it took a lot of people, right? Because there's only 24 hours in a day for one person. But if you have 10 people working on the same goal, working towards the same objective, they have 240 hours a day because it's 10 people. So the difference is not necessarily achieving what you can achieve solely yourself. It's about how can you get multiple people driving towards the same goal. And delegating is a really important piece of that. And that was really hard it still is really hard for me. There's certain things I'm I'll just do it myself. But technically, it's not the best decision because having someone understand that and how to do that could be more powerful. And the next time it pops up, they know how to do it. So,
you're grooming them for the next challenge that comes across in that space. You're growing their brand at the same time as growing your own company. Delegation's huge.
The other side of it too is they could bring a different perspective or a different thought or a different idea that you yourself would not have been able to bring to the table. And that's how you can definitely foster growth.
Yeah, definitely.
Different outlooks can generate different and sometimes better results. Sometimes they're not better, but hey, that's where coaching comes along.
Yeah.
Well, I've also found that I feel like we're getting to
totally different conversation than New Year's.
I feel like some of the best leaders, though, in a way, are always asking for feedback or providing or trying to get some type of intel to understand what other leadership or other individuals are looking or seeking or trying to do or could bring to the table. Mm-hmm. But also in the leadership role, you have to understand, you have to be able to make the call, which is sometimes challenging also. But very good points there. Another podcast episode for sure.
I want to touch on real quick because Kenny kind of brought it to another level. So Johnny, you talked about the energy and the positivity from a professional standpoint. And then Kenny, you kind of shared with us, which we appreciate, how you were dealing with something at the end of 2022 and it brought into 23. But, Johnny, to your point about the impact and, that positivity, bring it home too, right? Just don't practice that in the workplace. Bring it home to your spouse, bring it home to your family. And, I heard someone told me one time, from a marriage standpoint, marriage isn't 50-50. It's 100-100 because some days you're on your A game, they're not. And you have to be able to, carry each other and having that type of energy after a long day of work, not bringing your work home with you, from a negative standpoint. And we went through a tragedy as a family at the end of this year too. And one of the takeaways from the individual was their outlook. And that's one thing I'm going to try to carry into 2024. Like they were just happy waking up, having a cup of coffee, taking really just enjoying the little things of life professionally, personally, because you just never know. So enjoy those moments. Boys, TBC fans out there, enjoy just every day. And the positivity of it, right? And you control the energy you bring. And we've said that before. So bring your best every day. And then it's contagious, professionally and personally.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Perspective. And
to revolve this back to a New Year's thing to kind of create synergy between what Johnny was saying and what Ryan was saying. If you're in a rut or if you want something to change, you have to change. Something has to change. Change doesn't occur from doing the same thing over and over and over again. Change occurs from literally changing something. And we have all experienced that this year. We had, at the beginning of the year, we had an idea about doing something. TBC came out of that and we changed. We made a decision to actively work towards, these podcasts that we do. And we put in time and energy for meetings and for recording sessions, and we changed. And in order to do that, it has to follow up with actual action and execution. But if you execute on something little each day and you keep building on that, the consistency becomes so much more profound because a little bit each day, like 1% each day is not a fairy tale. It's an actual really impactful thing because small bits of consistent action can lead up to something that's monumental.
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to make light of this situation, but because Christmas was just passed, I'm just thinking of the song again. Put one foot in front of the other. Because you're building upon it, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking about our favorite word or our favorite phrase. Definition of insanity. We love that.
Yeah.
But you can't. Yeah. You can't do the same thing over and over. Like you said, Kenny, you can change.
Yeah, I think it's important. Change something, right? Like if you're not growing, you're dying. So you got to change something. Even if it's like something minimal, putting $1 away or something, a day. But you have to do something to continue to grow and prosper. And that's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Amen.
You opened up, Kenny, with one of your favorite memory being the bachelor parties, and we get to close 2023. We started it together with the New Year's party, but we get to close this year a little different than ever. We're going to a wedding, boys. We got a couple days.
Yeah.
We're going to be at a wedding to ring in the new year, and that's a different one. So that'll be an experience for sure. Definitely looking forward to that. Really excited to celebrate our friends Austin and Heather.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's always fun celebrating these couples as they journey into married life. I mean, heck, Johnny, you just got married not too long ago. You know, that's a big thing that happened this year.
Yeah.
You know, we also were able to go to our friends Tyler and Nicole's wedding. And I think it's definitely brought an appreciation for not only just our friendships in general, and the extension that it has to our significant others, but just being able to share in everyone's wins as they move on to a new chapter, because that's growth, right? They get to grow together. Not every day do you grow by yourself, and I think that's a big thing to continue to think about. So as we talk about make a change, don't hold back from sharing what you're trying to accomplish with others. Don't hold back with sharing when you're not doing well. See if someone wants to embark on the journey with you. If they have a similar aligned thoughts and goals. So, but yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we hit a lot on goal setting, a lot on building a momentum for what needs to be done in creating a strong new year. And I think reflecting on what was done the previous year as well. Any last minute things to add, guys? Anyone want to throw anything else in there?
Yeah, I got something for you. As a last minute thing, and keying on that last word there you said there, Kenny, was reflecting. Can you describe in 3 words 2023? Your 2023. Doesn't have to be TBCs or anything like that. Just your 2023. I'll kind of kick it off and go first. Just because I feel like at my core, if I were to think about this year, it's primarily overcoming challenging obstacles. That's how I felt my 2023 year went. And I think I've overcome all of them. A lot of things that I didn't think were going to came up. Even just this podcast too, right? Like you said, we had to change. So overcoming that mindset of I have one job is not true anymore. But I would say this is more fun and a hobby, but there's definitely there's tasks that have to get done. So there's things to overcome and change lifestyle in order to make it happen.
Yeah. It's funny you said that, James, because my 3 would be just embrace the journey. That's kind of spot on to what you just said, right? Mm-hmm. Good and bad. So very quickly said that's kind of my 3 word right there.
I like it.
Kenny?
My 3 would be invest into yourself. I think personal development is a really, really important thing that many people don't spend enough time on. I think experiencing and understanding oneself is one of the most important things. One quote that I've said to you guys before that really sticks with me is, you cannot give what you do not have. And that comes down to not just the tangible things of life, but if you do not have happiness, if you do not have purity, if you do not have joy, if you do not have love, those are things that you cannot give. So I continue every day to invest into myself, and I think that personal development can help lead you to where you want to be. And if you don't spend enough time on yourself, it could negatively affect you. So, yeah, invest into yourself.
Beautifully said. Ryan.
Bender continues.
Oh,
I knew someone was going to say it.
That was not a script. That was
not
scripted.
It. That was my plan the entire way. I was so happy that none of you fuckers said it. But yeah, man, just like the highs and lows of life this year. A
That's
lot
how
of
it
change, a lot
goes.
of crazy stuff. That's how it goes. It just keeps rolling. The party continues. The show goes on. And this show is definitely going on in 2024. So just appreciate y'all. But hell yeah, the bender continues is my 3.
Yeah, agreed.
God damn it, Ryan. God damn it.
Funny.
Well done. Well done. I would say hats off to you, but I guess that's for Johnny and you to do.
Headphones.
Hey, at least you figured out your technical difficulties.
Yeah, we didn't have
that's a
to
good way
exit
to ring
once
in.
this session. Well, good.
Yeah, there you go.
47 minutes in, finally.
Yeah, you've been able to stick it out there. Perfect. Cool. Well, until then, the bender continues.
The bender continues.